All right, we are live for our live coaching call, Upgrade Your Forehand Challenge. This has been so fun to be doing this as actually a student again and to have you guys coming along and join me. And tonight, I actually have one of our Crunch Time coaching students on, so I want to bring him on right away so you guys know that he's here. Whoops, I got to hit my YouTube silence. So I hear me in the background. But I have Jim Van Wyck with me, guys, who has been following Crunch Time coaching for a while. We actually just had a really fun conversation. That's one of the things I really love about coaching online is meeting all these cool people with all these cool stories. Jim, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, Pete. Hi, everybody. I'm doing well, and I'm just here to tell people that this is a great course and that Pete is a really fine coach.
Well, simple enough. Everybody should pick it up. But no, I mean, the thing that's cool is that you guys, believe it or not, you generally do inspire me. And, you know, Jim has been, I noticed that he watches not just my videos, but a lot of other online instructors, and he's always giving positive feedback. And you can tell he's always doing, you know, the work. And even for this course, he sent me a video on what he's working on. And I just love the idea that there's other like-minded people like myself who feel like it's never too late to learn something new, that it's what really motivates you more than necessarily winning a match, is that you're improving your skill level. You know, it's just not wins and losses. I mean, of course, that's part of it and you want to win, but the idea of improving your skill at something is just very attractive, I think, to the people that I'm attracted to. What do you think about that, Jim?
Absolutely. There are people who want to learn and get better, and even no matter what level of tennis you're at, or if you're learning something else, some people like to get better. They like to work on their game, to work on some set of skills, and I'm one of them. You're one of them, and I suspect the people watching this video or watching YouTube are one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely are. I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he really got into the game in the last couple years, and he had phenomenal strokes. And he says he's basically just been following online instruction. And he said for him, it's not just about, you know, winning, but he wants to hit and, you know, play the right way. I see we got William, who's actually came out to our slice serve, our Serve the Curve clinic. How are you doing, William? Is on. He says, great shirt. He likes my Upgrade my Forehand shirt.
I do too. It's a great shirt.
I like it too. I like it too. So I'm looking forward to all you guys coming on. And let me just kind of give you a rundown of what we're going to be talking about so you kind of know the structure of tonight's call so you can enjoy. First of all, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at Fed's forehand stats, his lopsided forehand stats from Wimbledon, which I found very interesting. I was looking through some other players. You know, of course, I didn't look through like everybody on the tour, but he seems to have maybe the most lopsided stats when it comes to hitting forehand winners versus backhand winners. And I found that interesting. So we're going to take a look at a couple of matches that he played at Wimbledon, and then also his match that he played against Rafael Nadal. I'm going to share the screen. The writing is a little small, so it might be hard for you guys to see it, but I just want to show it to you, and I'll be talking through it verbally so you'll be able to understand, you know, just how important the forehand is. We're also going to talk about how, you know, if you're watching this and going, well, that's Roger Federer and he's Roger Federer and I'm not, well, I'm certainly not either. But again, we can all always aspire to copy the pros and the good stuff from the pros that actually helps us get better. But you might be thinking, well, I play doubles. I don't play any singles. So how is a big forehand going to help me? And we're going to talk about a guy who's really come on the doubles scene the last couple of years out of nowhere and picked up some Grand Slam titles, and how he uses the forehand to totally dominate out there. And then I'm going to talk about the things that I really found to be game changers that I put inside the course that really helped me get my form to a different level. And definitely feeling the ball and feeling more power and more spin and everything. We'll talk about the big game changers for me. We're going to talk, Jim's going to talk to you about what he really has liked and what he's been improving. And then we're going to take your questions. So I'm looking forward to a really, really fun call with you all. So let's get into it. Jim, first of all, tell everybody a little bit about your background in tennis, because I found it to be pretty interesting, and kind of what attracted you to the forehand course.
Okay, very quickly, I played tennis every day as a junior and got pretty good. Then I quit for 10 years and went to university and got some professional training as a psychologist. I hated every minute of it, so I quit that after 11 months. And some buddies got me to start a tennis club. I played tennis and worked at the tennis club every day from 82 to 86. No, 88. And in 88, I just quit. We sold the tennis club, we moved to a different city, and I didn't pick up a tennis racket till 2016. And the reason I love this course and why I do online tennis is because forehands in particular have changed unbelievably. The way that Jack Sock or Federer or any world-class player hits the ball is completely different than the way that Borg and Lendl hit the ball in the 70s and 80s. It's just not the same. And so when I saw Pete taking a pretty good semi-modern forehand and saying, I want to make it fully modern, that just piqued my interest. And I said, that's the course. I literally said, that's the course for me.
Yeah. And I was so happy that I ended up doing it, because at first I saw the comment and I thought, well, if I pay this comment any attention, all of a sudden this guy might be on every single one of my videos, basically like trying to, because you never know. I mean, sometimes people just make a comment just to make it, and other times people like really want to kind of get your goat and get you going. But
are you saying that people make YouTube comments to just to troll you? Say it isn't so.
Sometimes. Now, I think for tennis overall, it's pretty generous. And there's only been a couple of people who have done that to me. And most of the comments are like very, very positive, and it's very rewarding.
And I don't want to interrupt, but let's be clear. You had a really good forehand, right? It's just not totally Federer, Jack Sock modern.
Right, exactly. And so I thought, well, my forehand's good. It's one of the things I'm more confident in. Probably my forehand, my serve, and my volley, my most confident shot. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, it definitely is different. And I didn't want to become somebody who just decided that everything I do is perfect and right and I can't improve. I really started to get generally excited about the idea of changing and feeling something different. Actually, when I was 33, I played junior tennis and was #1 in the state and was top 100 nationally ranked, went to play Division I college tennis, and I had a two-handed backhand. And then when I started teaching tennis, it was always, you always got, as you know, Jim, from teaching, you always got 4 or 5 balls in your hands. And I developed a really good one-hand slice. And then on the occasion when I'd actually play for myself, which again, when you're teaching pro becomes less and less, I would hit my two-hander. I'd be like, oh, this doesn't feel good natural anymore. And my one-hander started to feel really, really natural with the slice. So I decided to, I'm gonna learn how to hit a one-hand topspin backhand. So I just switched. Now I don't even think I can hit a two-hander. But what made me switch in the first place was the idea of growing, doing something different, seeing something improve. And that's what also really got me going for this Upgrade Your Forehand Challenge. And so that's kind of a background on what inspired me to do the course.
Can I say one thing, Pete?
Sure.
If there's one thing you want to improve as a tennis player is to get more power, more spin, and more solid forehand. You can eat off just that one shot in doubles or singles at any level.
Absolutely true. And that's a good segue of where we're going to go. So I'm going to attempt to do something that always makes me a little nervous on live calls, is I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Jim, maybe you could be my feedback and let me know if you're seeing my screen when I do it. And we're going to go to, yes, I want to share my entire screen. And we're going to go to some Fed stats. It should be popping up right about now. Can you see that?
Now we got it. Yep.
Okay, cool. So this was an epic match between Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. And I do want to be perfectly clear before we even get into the stats. That match was one of the best matches of all time. It had everything, just like both Novak and Roger said. And they both played amazing tennis. And I really, really like both players. Like, I always feel that Novak gets the short end of the stick. I don't know why more people don't like him. But of course, I was rooting for Roger, and it was a little heartbreaking when he lost. Who are you going for in that match?
I was hoping for Federer.
Yeah. Guys, comment in the chat section. I want to know who is for Federer, who is for Djokovic. You know, were you happy when Djokovic won? Were you heartbroken when Federer lost? To me, it was like watching the ultimate superhero movie. It's like you're like sitting there with your popcorn. You're going, oh my gosh, I'm on the edge of my seat. And this is the best superhero movie I've ever seen in my life with my favorite superhero. And then the very last scene, he gets hit by a truck and dies. Like that's what the match was like for me. So, but after it was all over, and I listened to Novak Djokovic's press conference, I was generally happy for Novak, and I think he's an awesome guy. Do you like Novak, or are you not a Novak fan?
Oh, I think he's one of the best players of all time. I don't know why he doesn't get more respect, but he gets no love. I like him. I was just hoping for Roger so he could set the record. And
yeah, I really wanted that record. Yeah, maybe towards the end of the call, I'll get into why I have a very, very strong opinion on why people, not for the right reasons, don't like Novak. But let's take a look at these stats, guys. So these are winners right here. I don't know if you guys can see that.
No, they're really hard to see.
Okay, but winners, Roger had 44 forehand winners and 19 backhand winners in that match. So look at how many more forehand winners. It's over 2-1 right there. And his opponent, Djokovic, had 23 forehand winners and 16 backhand winners. So a lot more even. And then so I started to look through all of Roger's matches at the Wimbledon and even back in some other tournaments. And you could see, I started to see like, wow, this is actually a plan where I think Roger is like, I'm going to hit almost all my winners on the forehand side and then get, where is my Roger? There he goes. Okay. And you know, maybe just keep the backhand and play, go the slice, set up my forehand. He loves to hit that little short chip shot and then he'll hit that forehand. In another match where he played Rafael Nadal, he had, let's go the shot types. And again, if you can't see this, I'm just going to read them to you. He had 24 winners on the backhand, on the forehand side, and 11 winners on the backhand side. So very similar, again, like 2-to-1 type ratio, forehand to backhand winners against Rafa, which we're going to get into how the tables completely turned at the French Open. I want to go to another match here, go back, and let's go to the quarterfinals. So we can see it's like almost every single match. So he played Kei Nishikori, and he lost the first set. But then again, it was 29 forehand winners to 10 backhand winners. So clearly he's looking to dominate play and control the points with his forehand. Roger, who's got great volleys, doesn't even serve volley that much on grass. I mean, I remember growing up, you come in first and second serve on grass when I was watching, you know, McEnroe, Edberg, Becker, all those. Even Lendl was coming in first and second serve. But Roger chooses to do what a lot of these guys are doing, which is run that serve plus one play, which is the fancy word for let's get a nice big first serve in, or let's slice it off the court, and then let's finish the point up with the forehand. And Roger is able to do this maybe better than anybody. He played Berrettini, who I thought was going to be a tough match. Now, Berrettini didn't keep a lot of balls in play, but Roger still was 13 forehand winners and 5 backhand winners. And so when Roger's on his game, he is totally dominating with the forehand and makes him arguably, well, not, I mean, it's not, he's certainly one of the best players of all time. Is he the best of all time? That's where the debate is. Is it Rafa? Is it Roger? Is it Novak?
Is it Serena?
Open debate there. No question about it. It could be any one of those three. But here, I want to go to Roland Garros, semifinal match. You saw how he was way ahead on forehand winners. Now, the match he loses to Rafa, which Rafa just destroyed him, and also the wind destroyed him too. He had 9 forehand winners and 11 backhand winners. So that's the only match. The match he lost, he had more backhand winners than forehand winners. So that lets you know there's a big problem. And then if you look at Rafa's stats, it flip-flopped. He was like 3-1 on forehand. He had 22 forehand winners and 7 backhand winners. What do you think about those stats, Jim?
It's been, in some ways, it's the whole history of tennis is about big forehand and a solid backhand.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
I mean, this is not new. Techniques are new, but the strategy of big forehand, solid backhand is probably the most common way to play tennis.
Yeah, yeah. And I would say certainly, and I just think it gets more and more. Like, I remember being taught as a junior, hit and get back to the middle. Hit and get back to the middle. Like, I don't think the pros are really being taught that anymore. It's like cheat to the forehand. Even if you're hitting forehands in the alley, it's okay because of the different angles you can create with an inside out and an inside in forehand. And it's just such a weapon that it's worth it to even get yourself out of position.
For sure. So, you know what, Pete? I'll bet you don't have those stats, but I'll bet Roger hits more inside-out forehand winners than cross-court forehand winners. I'd betcha.
You think so?
I do.
You might be right. He is really good at that inside out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your idea of running around, that's modern tennis, right?
That's modern tennis. And so that brings me to my next point that I want to get into. So there's Roger's stats, and you might be thinking watching this, well, you know, that's Roger Federer, and I'm not Roger Federer. Well, certainly I'm not Roger Federer either, guys. But, you know, like I said, we try and to aspire to be what we see and take the good things that they do. But even if you're a doubles player, I almost argue that the forehand becomes even more important and more valuable on a doubles court. And one thing that I found very interesting was how Jack Sock, you know, has really just become one of the best players on the doubles tour. And again, he's not serving volleying all the time. He's serving, he's putting that big kick serve in, and he's totally dominating with the forehand, which is pretty awesome. So if you are somebody who's playing doubles, I want you to think about that. If you're somebody who does not like to serve and volley, and if you have a one-hand backhand and are worried about, you know, your backhand game picked on and all you can do, because I know a lot of people that write me say, I've got a decent slice, but I can't come over the ball on the backhand. And so if you're one of those people who you feel like, I've got a good slice backhand, but I can't come over the ball, then I would suggest, I'm going to show you on the board here, just some court positioning tips. Because I was watching one of the things I do is I analyze players' matches, and there's this guy Mike Rogers who's a really cool guy. Maybe he's watching tonight, but he's got a much better forehand than backhand. And when he's serving on the ad side, he's actually standing here. And I watched the game where the returner got every single return to Mike's backhand. And Mike would slice the backhand. This net person, almost every point, at least the one game I was watching, he would cut across and kept picking on Mike's backhand there and putting the ball away. And I was saying, Mike, the next time you play a match, can you see this board, by the way, Jim? Pretty good?
Looks great. No, it's big and beautiful.
Okay, good. And so I was saying, Mike, the next time you play a match, you should stand here and serve. Literally stand there and serve. And now you have more angle to go out there. You can still hit it in the, you know, here too, that's fine. But especially, most likely you're playing another righty. It's easier to find their backhand. You then serve and just move a couple feet over, and it'll basically be impossible to find your backhand now. And now when the ball is landing anywhere in here, right now you have a double threat. The more it comes out here, you can hit it's easier to hit inside out. I think the more you're over here, this actually becomes a little bit of mirage where you'd be tempted to take it up the line, but it becomes a little more risky to where you can hook it out and miss wide. But especially as you're getting balls in here, this is where you're kind of the most unpredictable, because you can still hit it inside out fairly comfortable. But right in here, now going up the alley, it's almost like a cross-court shot. You got a lot of court to work with. So as you're playing, I would really be thinking about that is when you're always looking to where you can be standing to protect your backhand and dominate with your forehand. Also, a lot of people that you're playing, if you're playing at a 3-5 level, even a lot of 4-0 matches, very weak second serves, you can basically get yourself positioned to where, and I think it's a good psychological ploy too, to show them like, look, I'm going to stand right here, and I know especially with the doubles, let's say they're serving out here, they're not going to be able to ace you down the middle. That's very hard for them. So the more someone stands out here, it's going to be very, very hard for them to get to the tee. So again, you can cheat more and get over here because the angles don't work to where they can really ace you down the middle. So you can, again, cheat over. Don't stand traditionally here to return serve so they can still find your backhand. Stand over here. Dare them to go down the middle to where they're feeling like, man, he's challenging me right now. I got to go, or she's challenging me. I've got to go down the middle here. Now all of a sudden they're going to be throwing in double faults. And again, the way the court works is it's still going to be most likely angling into your forehand. Same thing over here. If you're standing and the person is serving and you like your forehand, now as they stand over here, you got to kind of watch them because now they can hit this out wide shot, which is to your forehand anyway. But be careful about cheating too far over. But again, it all depends on where they're standing. The more they come over here, the more you want to move this way because now this serve is harder for them to protect your backhand. The more they move over here, so it's a little more tricky on this side. The more they move over here, then you might have to kind of play it even a little bit or maybe even cheat over here so you can protect that out wide serve. But always be thinking on the doubles court where you can be standing to totally dominate with your forehand. When you're serving too, the way you can dominate is standing more over here and putting the ball in the box. This is also an easier way to find your opponent's backhand. It's good to develop a kick serve if you can. I know that's not an easy serve. But if you're standing here, as long as you got some wheels, be careful. See, if you're here and you serve it out there, then you got to be careful about, them hitting these angles over here. But if you're keeping the ball in this section of the box, it's going to be hard for them to hit a winner out here. So you can cheat more here, and now all of a sudden you're hitting mostly forehands as opposed to having to worry about them finding your backhand. Also, make sure your opponent not your opponent, your serving partner really plays closer in towards the middle, towards the net strap. So again, they can't find your backhand. Too many people are worried about their alley game passed down the alley. And that's how you can play a complete doubles match. What do you guys think about that? That's how you can play a complete doubles match and barely have to hit a backhand. Jim, what do you think about that? Do you play?
Absolutely. No, I agree 100%. That's how I play. You obviously challenge them to make the really hard shot to very, very narrow margins to find your backhand. And if they go to your forehand and you've got a big forehand, that's perfect strategy. You bet.
Yeah. Mike Rogers says, I've heard. So Mike Rogers is on tonight. This is another cool thing about this course, guys, is so many people who have, Jim's followed me for a while. A lot of people who have followed my online coaching on YouTube and bought my courses. They're buying this course as well. And then they're telling me how it's like one of their favorite courses. And so this feels awesome to know that you guys are liking this, especially the people who have been there before. Let's see. Mike Rogers goes, I've heard this doing what you suggested last two matches. I think he's not missing short backhands or running around them. Okay, cool. Very cool. I want to also give a shout out to one of our members, Mr. Richard Thompson, Rick Tomlinson. He won a mixed doubles match today, a mixed doubles tournament. That's his second mixed doubles tournament he's won in like a month. And he's actually in Canada too, Jim.
Uh-huh.
Do you know Rick? You guys would have a good hit, actually.
Yeah.
Rick
tell him I'm on Vancouver Island.
Okay, Rick is a 4-5 player.
Yep.
So you guys would have some fun.
In the ballpark.
Yeah, but this is kind of cool. This is a text message that I got from Rick. And that's another thing that's awesome about this is getting people all over the world. Literally, we're staying connected. We're updating each other on how we're doing. And Mike says it works. with a big thumbs up. So very, very cool. So that's it, guys. That's how you can work that forehand. We see how Roger Federer is working on the singles court. You can take the same ideas. So let me just show you guys for singles real quick, and then I want to get into some things that really help me with the Upgrade Your Forehand Challenge game changers. But one of the things that Roger loves to do is when he's on the deuce side, a lot of times he's going to flip over and get a little on the ad side and make it. What he's trying to do is right after the serve, especially he knows where his serve is going to land in the box within inches. I mean, those guys are so pinpoint accurate. And so they know based on how they hit that serve, what's most likely going to come back. You know, so if Roger's going to stand here and hit one up the tee and he hits a good one, he knows that this person outstretched is going to be a little late and that the ball is going to land over here, right? He knows that if he goes out wide, if the person looks like they're getting early, well, they might be able to crack like an angle winner on him or down the line, so there's high risk, high reward. But if he gets them off the court and he sees them stretching again, you know, shots are going to be laying here. So Roger, what he's going to be doing is just cheating over a little bit after he serves and then be looking to go inside out, which we know he hits a lot of winners there, and also inside in. And when he goes to serve on the ad side, again, he now can hit his serve, and now he's going to kind of stay put or maybe move over here a little bit, leave a little bit of that open. Like Pete Sampras would do this all the time. He would basically play so much over here, he would dare you to go over there. And he had such a good running forehand that he would hit a winner on that forehand. But, you know, the players are more willing to stay in this area of the court and give this up a little bit just so they can dominate. You know, don't worry about winners every now and then. Don't let a winner emotionally get you down to where you give up a game plan. You know, one of the good examples of that would be McEnroe. When McEnroe played, you know, he might literally get past 50 times in a match, but he's coming to the net 200 times. So, you know, if you get a winner here and there put against you, don't be like, oh, well, that doesn't work. You know, like just really think about the percentages of what's going on. And you really want to control the center of the court if you're a singles player. And the way you're going to control the court is you're not going to be controlling the court with your backhand unless your backhand is so much better than your forehand. But you're going to be controlling that court with your forehand, especially if you go through this challenge. So there you go. So
can I say something, Pete?
Yes, go ahead.
Novak Djokovic has probably the best backhand of all time. Same with Rafa. But you know what? They're running around their forehand all the time and hitting a big, loopy inside out forehand and starting to dominate play. Absolutely. Even guys with great backhands.
Yeah, that is very, very true. So what I want to go through now, Jim, I want to first of all just ask you, what are some of the things you've gone through the course? Let me know what you think about the course and what are some things that you're liking that have helped you?
Okay, I've taken a lot of online tennis courts. I think both free and paid courses, video courses are really good, right? You're one of my favorites. But so here's what was great about this course. You went to 5 world-class experts. You got the best lessons on forehand from Rick Macy, and he really did a good job of shortening your backswing. He shortened my backswing already. I've done some of his exercises and that one you invented. So just the overall basics was from Mackie. Mr. Salzenstein, great tennis teacher, right? And then I really liked Kovacs, and I'm really spending a lot of time on some of the principles from the Kovacs part of the lessons, which is turning your shoulders more, but also I was getting lots of upper body rotation, but I wasn't turning my hips as much. And so now in the last week I'm turning my hips a lot more, and it just works better. It's just mechanically more sound. And then of course, is it Jeff Greenwald? Jeff Greenwald,
yeah.
He really gives you both a psychological and a physical way of playing what he calls fearless forehands. But so I'm just stunned by the depth of that course from the big 5 main teachers. And then as you know, I sent you a video. I'm doing the exercises. I'm doing the exercise with the soccer cones and the tight squeezing and loose squeezing with the ball machines and stuff. I'm luckily enough, our club has a beautiful ball machine. And so I'm doing the exercises. And so you take the lessons from these 5 world-class teachers. Where do you get 5 world-class teachers in one course, right?
Yeah.
And then, well, and maybe even 6. We won't. You're not chopped liver.
Well, thank you.
And then you got the actual drills and exercises to put those principles in effect. And I can tell you for sure that after about, I don't know, 1 week of this course, I know my forehand is better, and I can see the trajectory of where it's going to go.
Yeah, yeah. And for me, I want to just go through some things that were game changers for me going through the course. And so just so you guys know the layout of the course, what is it like? You're going to get in the beginning what I call the lessons with the legends, to what Jim was covering. You know, you're getting the Rick Macy video, you're getting the Jeff Saldenstein, the Jeff Greenwald, Mark Kovacs. You're watching the entire video rather than just the promo piece that we put out there for you guys. And then, just like I kept saying at the end of the video, I'm like, well, that's just the beginning of the journey. Rick Macy, he said one thing that really, really hit home to me that was a real eye opener. And it wasn't anything that I was sad about. It was just like, he's exactly right. Like, it was just like, this guy has only been on the court with me for like 20 minutes and he's pinpointed my problem right away. And he said, what's in your wheelhouse is you're intense and you're a hard worker. You're a good athlete. But if you could have learned to relax more, you probably would have been 2 levels above where you ended up being. And that was like, it was kind of like a backhanded compliment. Like, it felt good and bad at the same time, but more, it felt good to me because I take pride in the hard work. And I know you're a hard worker too, Jim. And that's what I got out of this whole thing was like, all right, if I'm going to do this, I just can't like go to these guys and go, oh, well, he showed me that, I guess it's better now. I would basically go to the practice court with what they taught me in mind. And I think of drills that go, well, what could I do today that would give me the feeling of what Rick was trying to teach me? What could I do today that would help me be more relaxed, on the court, like Jeff Greenwald was trying to teach me, and like Rick said I had to do. What can I do today on the court that's going to give me more of an angular stroke rather than a linear stroke? What's going to help my back swing? What's going to help me get to the ball with less steps? Because Jeff Saldenstein noticed, which you guys didn't get to see, but I was taking way, way too many steps when I was running for a ball out wide. What can I do today to practice that's going to help me get to the ball faster with less steps? And so I was always doing these different drills that I'd film, of course, and you guys could follow along. And I'm giving you, it's kind of interesting because I've never done this before, because usually I'm just teaching. But in this course, I'm trying to get things. I'm giving you feedback if like that was it or that wasn't it. And I'm also coaching you at the same time, like saying, this is what I'm focused on. This is what you want to focus on. This is good. That's bad. And so that's what the course is. Besides, we also have lots of analysis of the pros hitting the ball. But I want to just walk you through 3 things that have really, really been game changers. And of course, inside the course, I walk you through me hitting with this. So you get to see me hit. I'm giving you feedback of how exactly to do it and why it's so good. But just even if you didn't get the course, just go out and try this. I noticed that I was coming to hit. First of all, I'm noticing as the pros are coming to hit, how much they're really keeping and how long they're keeping those strings facing the ground. And then there's no extra, like a lot of like extra things going on here. They're just pulling from that position. I don't have room in my kitchen right now. But I noticed that as I was going to hit, lots of times I'd come and then I would just start to turn it a little too soon this way. And I wasn't doing what I thought I was doing. So I decided to get these soccer cones and go out to the ball machine. I also did shadow strokes. I did a number of different things with this inside the course, and also had my buddy Paul, who's a student, go through this, and it really works great. And here, and the goal is to just from here, it's kind of like pulling out the, like if you have a table and it's got a cloth on it, right? it's just kind of like pulling that dinner cloth, like right from under, you know, if you got a glass, like kind of like that idea is you're slipping right out of this thing and getting that thing to zoom. And I could feel instantly when I did that my stroke changed like right away. I could feel that it was different. And then when I went home to watch it on video, because sometimes I would go home and watch myself on video and go, huh, I thought I looked different than that. But when I went home and watched that on video, I thought, wow, that's a lot better. What did you think after you did this, Jim?
Absolutely. It shortened. It gives you that nice short backswing with a big what Macy calls the flip, right? So you're shortening your backswing, and you'll get more top spin and with a shorter backswing, more power, more top spin with a shorter backswing for sure.
Yeah.
And you saw me. I made a video of me in my backyard shooting them soccer cones out. You bet.
Yeah. And then another thing too was as I was watching myself hit, you know, overall, I think I do a good job of using my core and my legs. I mean, I certainly wouldn't say like it's bad. Like I don't want to like lie to you guys and say, oh, my forehand was terrible. And, you know, before it started, and I had no idea what I was doing. Now it's great. I mean, I definitely had good fundamentals, but I could see like there's more to use, you know, like use up everything in the tank. So I went out and bought this right here, this
medicine ball.
Medicine ball. Thank you. Went out and bought this medicine ball, 6 pounds, and it would be what I would do to warm up. And you could really feel like I focus as I was doing this, the Coke bottle idea that Mark Kovacs is talking about. Is this not turning? Most people think it's like, oh, you just turn. But he was talking about your hips, and you really feel like you're turning it like a Coke bottle. So I was really working on that and then throwing. And one thing I've been doing lately, so this is a good exercise if you have a pool. You don't need a pool. I mean, you can go to the wall, you can just throw it. But I've been going in the pool, and I've been throwing it against the wall in the pool, and especially because now you're working with the water and the wall. Maybe I'll have to film it because I put this exercise inside the course, but not with me in the pool. Maybe I'll get brave and add that as a bonus, but it's kind of fun. I've been throwing it as hard as I could into the wall and grabbing it so I can really feel and you know, using more of my body as I'm playing. So that's another game changer. And then the third one is this, Jim, which I sent you today. Jim was the winner of our wrist racket because he commented on all 3 videos, and I picked him out. And then he ended up being a member, which was great. So that makes me even happier that you won. And so I sent you this wrist racket. Now, the thing that was amazing about this is I saw a video. I love oncourtoffcourt.com. If you've never gone to their site, they have so many cool training aids. And Joe Dinifer, who's the owner of it, is a genius. You can tell he's just crazy obsessed with tennis. And so I ordered this to kind of feel that snap going into the ball. And what I would do, and it's inside the course, I did this on ground strokes, I did this on approach shots, is I would take a couple of whacks with this thing, and then I would swing the racket, and I could not believe how it was like the feeling was still with me as I was hitting the stroke. And I think it definitely helped me relax more. It definitely helped build up racket head speed. I felt like I was just getting a different action that I had not felt before with this thing. And so this is a really, really cool thing. You can get it on court, off court. You can see inside the course how I use it, and you can see that it definitely makes a difference. So those are the 3 game changers for me, guys. This is a great course, and I just wanted to come on and talk to you guys about it and see if you had any question about anything. The chairman says, Pat the dog is another link in the kinetic chain. No secret. What do you think of the Ace Trainer? I'm sure the Ace Trainer works pretty good too. That's another thing where it's basically like a stick, and then the ball goes to the top and you hear that snap. Funny thing about that is one of my best students that I've ever coached, Carver, who's now playing Division I tennis at Mercer, who has a huge serve, can serve 120 miles plus, and I think he ended up being valedictorian of the school. He would be up doing his homework, his mom said, and she'd just hear that Ace Trainer slapping to the top hour after hour as he was doing his homework. So that just goes to show how being obsessed with the game, how far it can take you. The chairman says, sounds to me, Pete, you're starting to add more links to your kinetic chain with your 3 game changers. Yes, that is true, Chairman. I definitely am. I'm feeling everything just getting a little better. And so that's what I want for you guys. I want you guys to get better. I'm going to stay on right now. First of all, I'm going to put the link. If you have not picked up the course, I'm going to put the link here where you guys can sign up. And now's your time to ask questions. If you have any questions about what the course is like or what you're going to learn or if it's good for you or not, I will answer those now. I'll also kind of give you some of my own feedback.
Pete, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna scram. It was really nice talking to you today.
Okay, that was great.
Thanks a lot. My final word for this is, I bought a lot of online courses. I bought several from Pete. I bought from some of the people you talked about. This is my favorite course of all time. And what's more, getting a dominant forehand is the single best thing you can do for your tennis game. So that's what I have to say. Thanks, everybody, and thanks, Pete. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Take care, Jim. So guys, now's your time to ask your question. Watching all the legend videos, should I wait to watch the practice videos? Yeah, I think the way to go through the course, Mike's asking, is, I think you definitely should watch the legend videos first and see what we are trying to get. Like, what is our vision that we're trying to upgrade through the course? And then after you do that, I would go into the hitting drills. And whenever you're kind of stuck on how things should look and what are some positives and negatives, you can go into the analysis of the pros hitting. But really, I think you're going to find the most value out of watching the main videos from the legends and what they want me to do, and then keep going through the training videos. And I also have, hey, Ian, it's good to see Ian Westerman on, and he says he loves it. So I appreciate Ian. And Ian does an amazing job with EssentialTennis.com. Definitely go check out his website. But I think the best way to go through it is to go through those legend videos. And then what you want to do after that is you want to go through the drills. I also have a 30-day challenge to where every day you can get an email. And so there's no guesswork. So you know exactly what you should do that day. And, oh, the Bagel Meister's on. Very cool. How's it going, Mr. Bagel Maker? And here's the thing, guys. You do not have to. I know one of the questions is probably like, if I'm going to upgrade my forehand, do I have to be training like a junior like 5 or 6 times a week? Do I have time to really do this, to make this change? Do I need to be training out there hours a day? There was a lot of things, a lot of work went into making this course. Then I had other things going on in my life. I basically take care of my mom now. She's 83 years old. I just took her to a Billy Joel concert in New York City. We saw Billy Joel play in Madison Square Garden, playing New York State of Mind, one of my best memories I'll ever have. But so I had a lot going on while making this course. So lots of weeks, I would only get out there 2 or 3 times a week, 20 to 40 minutes. So it's about playing and working smarter, not harder. Okay, this is about working smarter, not harder. You're not going to have to train like a junior. You don't need to be out there 6-7 days a week. The 30-day challenge is there for you to do, but don't let it intimidate you or get you down. Even if you just do it 2 or 3 times a week, 20 to 40 minutes. That's all you need to start feeling. It's about being consistent. It's about the small victories. Another question you might have is, do you need a bunch of people to do this with? Many days, as you'll see, I'm out there by myself, and I actually looked forward to it. It was like a sanctuary to me. It was very peaceful, and lots of times I love to take the lessons from the legends, but you're nervous sometimes when you're taking the lesson. It was pretty cool to just kind of go out there on my own time and do it and enjoy the process of learning, okay? Billy Joel is the GOAT. Yes, he is, Chairman. Billy Joel is the GOAT. So there's the link. Another thing I decided to do, if you buy tonight, if you watch this video and you buy tonight, one thing I want to do, and if you already have the course and you're watching this, I'm going to do this for anybody who is on tonight who says, hey, I want you to take a look at my forehand. So this is a bonus I'm throwing in tonight. If you buy the course tonight, not only are you going to get the Upgrade Your Forehand Challenge and the 3X Power Serve course, but you can also send me a video of either one. You can either pick your serve or your forehand whatever you think you need more work on, and you can send me a 20 or 30-second video of you doing it, and I will analyze it for you. So you know exactly what I think, where I think your forehand or your serve breaks down, and what's the number one thing you need to be working on over the next 30 days. Mike Rogers, I have the ace trainer, not sure about ground strokes, but the serve, I haven't found it very helpful. I found it very helpful. Very cool. So that is it. Let's see, what other questions might you have? Doesn't matter your age or skill level. I've had people now who have purchased this. Like Jim is actually a pretty good player. He sent me his forehand. I said, he played growing up as a junior. He was nationally ranked. Very good player. He loves it. It's going to help him for sure. So if you're a 4.0, 4.5, 5.0, I enjoyed the process. I'm pretty good. I love doing this. So you're basically going to go through the things I was going through that I thought I need to do to make myself better. And certainly if you are below a 4.0, I think it's absolutely necessary to get it. If you have any plans on, actually, Ian, if you're still on, I was listening to your podcast the other day you had with somebody who wrote a book about filling in the gaps. It was very, very good. You guys should go listen to Ian's podcast, because the one guy said, hey, if you want to get to a 4.0 and beyond, that's when you have to learn to play the right way. And I've been saying the same thing now. I've been talking about a lot this year, where I feel like if you're a decent athlete and you have good hand-eye coordination and you love tennis, you can go from a 2.5 to a 3.5 very quick. By quick, I mean within a couple of years. But most people kind of get stuck in that quicksand. In 3.5 quicksand, they can't get to the 4.0. And why does that happen? Because the 4.0s and beyond, like I don't mind hitting with a solid 4.0 player, even though I might be another level or two above that player. I don't mind hitting with them. I will happily hit with a solid 4.0 player, and I'll have a productive practice because they typically have solid fundamentals, solid strokes, and they had to kind of go through some growing pains. Anybody who's a 4.0 plus, they went through a period in their tennis life. They're like, okay, I've got to figure out how to get this continental grip, you know? So they went through the pains of like, I'm going to accept my serve sucking for 6 months to a year to get the continental grip so I can eventually hit a kick serve. And I feel like the same thing for a forehand. Your serve and your forehand, it's like peanut butter and jelly, right? Like what's more important, your serve or your forehand? What would you rather have, a peanut butter sandwich or a jelly sandwich, or do you have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? The serve and the forehand go together. It's that serve plus one technique that you're using out there in your matches. So if you want to generally dominate with your forehand, where you have got to be able to trust it, where it's consistent, but it's a weapon to where it forces your opponent to make decisions that they don't want to do, then you've got to go through a little bit of a process, a journey, willing to change, willing to maybe watch something, maybe go down a little bit before it gets better. But once you go through that process, the game is going to get so much more rewarding for you. And so I think that this is one of the best things you can do for that, because I enjoyed it. Mike Rogers, 3.5 to 4.0, taking forever. Yes. And a lot of it is just about improving those fundamentals. So I'm looking forward to Mike coming out, because another thing we're going to be doing, let me know if you guys are interested in this. I'm doing a serve plus one clinic September 6th, 7th, and 8th here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be playing tennis. We're also going to go to a place called Top Golf. We're also going to be doing indoor skydiving. We're going to be going to dinner down by the Braves Stadium. So if you're interested in that, send me a text or email me, and I'll tell you more about it. Bagelmeister says, the course has been very helpful already. Need to finish the Jeff Greenwald video, then stick to just one or two things. That's right. And so that's another thing. The bagel maker made a very good point. When I was doing this training, every day I'm going on the court, I'm focused on one or two things with you guys. I'm not telling you every day to do 10 different things on your forehand. We just focus on one thing. Like there was one practice, Jeff Greenwald talked about this idea of, since I'm tight, really focusing on your grip tension and going up and down the dial with your grip. So in the practice, you can see me experimenting with grip tension. That's all I worked on. I didn't worry about if I had the lag and snap going. I didn't care if I had a lot of the other elements I was trying to get. That's not what I worked on that particular day. So there's different days where you see my stroke look different, because I'm just working on one or two things. I'm not trying to get everything all at once on every day. So as you go through the course, you're going to see my stroke be changing and morphing throughout it until we eventually get to where I kind of like the way it looks right now. Okay, so I really appreciate you guys being here on a Saturday night. Remember, the Upgrade Your Forehand Challenge, it closes tomorrow night at midnight. I'm putting the link in. If you're watching this video and you sign up, all you got to do is just send me an email and say, hey, Pete, here's my forehand. You said I would look at it for you. Here it is. I bought the course. Here's my forehand. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, how I can improve that. What's the one or two things I should be working on to really get to that next level? You can also do it for your serve. So before I leave you tonight, here's everything that you're going to get. You can watch the entire videos now if you have not seen them. You've probably seen the promotional pieces. They're very good. Where Rick Macy is teaching me the ATP forehand. That's an hour-long video, so you can get to go through that. The next video that you're going to be able to go through is Mark Kovacs. We basically were on the court. I was with him for over an hour, but we had about a half-hour lesson, literally. Like, that was pretty much once we turned the camera on, what you see is what you get. I'm not really editing stuff out, It's the entire lesson. And so in 30 minutes, he added 20 miles an hour to my forehand, and my RPMs also went from I think we started 1,600. They went to over 2,300. Just got the course and done the Macy video. I've been dropping the racket, trying to brush up. So concentrating on that and saw the follow through in my left pocket. It worked. Now finding he teaches it. Okay, cool. See, so there's another person inside. Everybody who's gone on inside is really, really liking this. The next thing is you're going to get, I think, like a 35-minute video with Jeff Greenwald where we talk all about relaxation. And the cool thing about that video, you're going to learn so much. You're going to relate to it so much as a tennis player. Jeff Greenwald, if you don't know, he's one of the best players over 50, definitely in the country, if not the world. He's won a lot of national titles. Who did he almost beat to get into the SAP Open? It was some very accomplished player. I mean, this guy has almost taken out some really, really big tour names. He's a very, very great, and he was 37 years old when he almost beat this player. I wish I remember who it was, but it's somebody everybody would know. But Jeff is really good, and he said that he struggled when he was younger getting to the next level because he was always in his own head. So he's basically made a life mission to work on his mind, work on relaxation. And again, a lot of tips he gives me, then I bring it out to the court. So it's not just about watching a video on how to get mentally tougher. We also bring it to the practice court. And then there's a lesson with Jeff Saldenstein, 48 minutes. And he's teaching me how to hit the inside-out rocket ship forehand and also how to improve my footwork, which is really good. And then after that, there's 53 videos, I believe, around 53 videos inside the course. And they're basically laid out like, okay, let's practice on this today. Let's practice on that today. And you can also sign up for the 30-day challenge where you get a daily email on what you want to be practicing on every day. That's the one or two things you want to be doing every day. And so people love the 30-day challenges because it takes all the guesswork out. You're not having to guess on what to do and if you're doing it right and if you're practicing the right way. You just follow that 30-day challenge. And it doesn't mean you have to complete it all in 30 days. Just kind of go through it at your own pace. Even if you can only get to it 2 or 3 days a week, have them there, go through it one by one. And it's a rinse and repeat process. After 30 days, you can do the 30-day challenge again until you feel like this forehand is feeling like I want it to be. It's a fear hand now, guys. It's a fear hand. So you're getting all of that. Plus, you're getting the 3x power serve course because the serve and the forehand, they are what's dominating tennis right now. The 3x power serve course is a course where we start from the lower body, then we go to the core, the upper body until we build the unbreakable kinetic chain. And so it's going to teach you how to get more power on your serve. And then finally, if you buy tonight and you just send me an email saying, hey, here's my forehand. You told me you'd look at it. I will look at your forehand and analyze it for you, or your serve, either one. But just one. I'm not going to do two. Pick one, and I'll do it for free on the house. And people right now are paying, Mike's one of them, paying a monthly fee to have me analyze their strokes, analyze their matches. And so that's it, guys. I just wanted to spend this hour, let you know how much I appreciate everybody's feedback, how fun and rewarding this has been, not only to work with the best coaches on the planet, but also the best students on the planet. You guys are better than normal. And Ian, if you're still here, he can probably write and let you all know. You guys are better than normal students, okay? Normal students are not willing to do the work. Normal students are not on this call on a Saturday night. They're not going to YouTube and trying to figure out how to get better. They're not buying online courses. What they are doing is they're the people who are definitely stuck at 3.0, 3.5 for 30, 40 years, and they have no desire to even get to the next level, right? So even if you've been stuck for a long time, you have the desire to get to another level. You're always looking to get to the next level. One of the biggest frustrations that a lot of my totally obsessed tennis players who come take lessons from me, like, I can't believe it. Most of the people I play with, they don't even want to get better. They don't even work on their game. You guys are always working on your game. You are always trying to get better. I'm telling you, you are the best students on the planet, okay? So I really, really appreciate you guys. You guys make my job, my life so rewarding. Every day, I'm grateful that I'm teaching people who really, really want to get better, who really appreciate it. And it's just so fun and rewarding to connect with you guys. And what's interesting too is once I start to know all the people who end up buying these courses, they always tend to be very successful people. It's not only do they want to get better at tennis, when you find out about their life, they typically have had a great career. They've owned their own businesses, or they're doctors, they're lawyers, they're just people who have built things, and they're overachievers. So, and I think that that's the type of people who really get the biggest benefit out of this course, is that you're going to go in and you're going to do the work and you're going to see the results. So thanks so much. I'm going to put the link in one more time. I'm going to let you guys go to sleep on a Saturday night. Maybe you can get up tomorrow morning, start working on day 1 of the 30-day Upgrade Your Forehand Challenge. And I just want to thank you guys again. And if you want to email me any questions too, you can at crunchtimecoaching@gmail.com. So if you didn't get to ask your question, if I somehow missed it, or if you just didn't feel comfortable asking it in the chat section, you can email me at crunchtimecoaching@gmail.com, and I will answer it there. And now I have to figure out how to turn this thing off. Okay, there it is. Stop broadcast. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.